you act like I meant to do that.
Tempers were hot. What's happening, homie? We are back with another crit race analysis. Today, we are at Gateway Cup, first day toward Lafayette. Quick stats for you. FTP's around 3 something. I weigh 165 pounds. We averaged damn near 30. Did 220 watts for the race. And fun fact, longest tandem bicycle sat 35 people. That's insane. Let me tell you, I love Gateway Cup. Semi-local race series, St. Louis, Missouri. Wonderfully hosted, and honestly, it's probably my favorite series of the year. It's the end of the year. Everyone's ready, and everyone's has that little bit of extra grit. They know this is probably the last time I'm going to race for a while. And as usual, we're going to let the first lap ride so you can see all the corners, see the course, and just get a good feel for it. But while we do that, let me tell you about how I was determined to get a good result here, man. I had been struggling in the twos. A lot of crashing in Intelligentsia Cup. You saw me make a lot of mistakes in these past few videos, and just overall not having a great time after I moved up to the twos. And I don't think it's a fitness thing. Some of it was a confidence thing, especially after Torquemaker's Dayland, and just jamming my elbow into the concrete did not feel great and kind of shook my confidence for a while. And that was back in June. Didn't do a ton of racing in August, and now September here at Gateway. And as we roll down this back straight, you may have noticed slightly better audio quality. Did end up getting a new mic. Hopefully it makes the video sound a little bit better and just overall have a better ambiance to them, you know what I'm saying? And this back straight is generally a slower part of the course, and then you make this left onto the second to last straight where it is a slight uphill and then a screaming downhill into the final left-hand corner. And this side is where the speeds generally rise. You can see people are kind of picking it up. It gets a little bit more strung out. And the final straightaway, man, that thing is blazing fast. The sprints there get crazy, crazy quick. Even when you're not sprinting, the pack can roll through there so quickly. And that's what kind of makes this course very interesting, is because, like, yeah, it's just a big old rectangle, but for the most part, there's actually some dynamics at play where the fourth straight and the first straight are very, very fast, and the second and third are a little bit slower, especially with that. The first corner is a little funky and can be tough for sure, which I definitely struggled with at times. We jump about 4 laps ahead, and you can see power and map data actually correct, and we are spiking it up. And this is that second to last straight that I was talking about, where you can really drill it. You see we're going 31 miles an hour, and it really is never slower than 30 on this straight or the next. And you can see it's super strung out, and I raced this course before, and I really do like courses like this, and I knew no breakaway is going to get away. Too many teams here, too many people with an interest in it to get that perfect dynamic of every single team represented just was not going to happen. And so I took it upon myself to kind of tail gun a little bit, try to save some energy. You can see we're going 35, so being able to take these lines, the choice line through here is really nice. Not that I do a great job here, but you can see it slows down, and you can kind of just keep your speed into them. Yeah, I'm doing 700 watts. Some of the guys are starting to peel off the back, and that's kind of why I waited to about 4 or 5 laps in. Normally, I've noticed in the 2-3 races that if anyone's going to get popped, they're going to get popped within 10 to 15 minutes, and then you're good to go. Tail gunning's a viable strategy from that point forward. And we jump ahead, and I'm still tail gunning like I said I was, but I just want to give a little bit of a better indication of why, like, the backside is slower. We're still going 28, so we're not cooking, but it is a slight uphill. And there's just something about this course, because you come into this left-hand corner here, and it is a little bit more difficult to take at speed, and it's just this false flat that kind of drags the speed down slowly. And since there's not a ton of control, no one wants to get on the front and drill it, and so it just slows down naturally. And with that slowdown comes the blob of riders, as you can see now. And I'd kind of started to notice that, and I was thinking to myself, okay, with one to go, that blob is going to happen. Maybe with 2 to go, the blob's going to happen. And when that happens, you got to jump, because I trust my sprint, but rain was coming, and it had been raining, and I was worried that there was going to be difficulties in the rain, whether that's a crash or people braking more before corners so you get gapped off. Like, I just knew that I needed to jump there, and I was trying to wait for that right time in the last few laps. One other thing I love about Gateway, look at how many people are on the right. So many people. The neighborhoods really come out, and they love to support these races, especially toward Lafayette. It's a beautiful neighborhood, and there's just so many people, and it makes it really fun, because they're excited as the races go on and they start to see, you know, people speed up, and we start to see the pack speed up, and they get pumped, and these kids are just out there cheering and yelling, ringing cowbells. It's really a great experience. If you're in the Midwest, you got to go to Gateway Cup sometime, right? You have to. It's effectively the Midwest Nationals of the year, so to speak. We jump ahead again just to get another glimpse at, like, man, this pack would get wide, and it's just it's so weird, right? Like, it's because there's no control. There's like it's effectively a 6-lane road. You can do whatever you want, and that's why I love this course. It's just always so dynamic. We jump ahead. We're gonna get into the last few laps. We're just gonna let it ride. There's a big gap off the front, but I know it's gonna come back. It always does. I've kind of learned this last corner. I take a pretty decent line through here, find this wheel, and I let him drag me up. And by drag me up, I mean I do 850 watts because I'm an idiot. Why'd I get on his wheel? He was slowing down. That's kind of the thing that I need to improve on the most for this upcoming season, is definitely just take that line better. And we're going to go through this corner again with 5 to go. And I take a much better line, and I don't have to do 800 watts for 10 seconds to get back to the group, right? So I've been realizing now, 15 minutes into the race, if I go far right, effectively no one takes that line. You don't have to brake. And yeah, it's a longer line, but people are going to come in front of you. I have to do 600, right? Instead of 800 and sustain it. And this is what I'm talking about at Tour de Lafayette. There is no control. It is as wide as it can be. People are sprinting up the left, and that happens a ton. It continues to happen for the last few laps as people are they're making that last-ditch effort to get away. And as you can see, the rain has come. Rain on the lens, and it's just starting to get a little sketchy. Some of these paint lines are very freshly painted, and those are slick. And just trying to find the right line, because yeah, it's a really wide boulevard, but no one's slowing down. And that started to make me nervous as we approach the end of the race. Speaking of nervous, everyone's starting to ride a little nervous. You can see a little bit of swerve in there, nothing crazy, but oh man, like, I just know, and obviously you've seen the crash. I remember the road rash, not a ton, but just like it's the end of a crit, right? So it's so packed up, and it's just, it had been raining, then it stopped, and it rained a little and it stopped. So everyone has their pressures probably 10, 15 PSI too high. And I know that, and I'm like, a little nervous. My main mistake is I continue to take the outside line. I should not have kept taking the outside line. I should have started going inside so that I can control, hey, if someone slides out, they don't slide out into me. And that's kind of where I make one of my mistakes. And just look at this, man. It is just chaos, right? It's why crits are fun. It's why the end of crits are especially fun. It's why I love this course. It's just a very hectic course both times I've raced it. We jump ahead just a little bit, and this is what I was talking about. It's still kind of blobbed up. We're only going 27. We're going 26 a little bit ago. I should have attacked here. I needed to jump here right now. But then I start to get swarmed a little bit on my right, and I'm like, I kind of get boxed. Get ready for the corner, take the left, and I lose my front wheel, and I'm like, oh, thank God I saved it. Wait, no, you didn't. Let's go ahead and take another look at that and get a better feel for what happened. So we have it slowed down. I start to lose my front wheel. I catch it. You see it pop a little bit there, and it looks like someone's on the paint line and just taps a brake, and everyone's in the corner, and it looks like no one's able to keep it upright. It's just unfortunate that it had started to rain, and I think there was probably someone coming into the corner a little bit too hot, touches the brake just slightly on the paint line, they slide, and then you just see person after person start to slide out. And that was the end of my season. I ended up hitting my head, not so hard that I had a back concussion, but hard enough to not continue racing. End of my year, unfortunately. But hey, if you liked the video, please like, and hey, please subscribe for more. All right, deuces.